Hello, and welcome back to Foos Entertainment. Give me a second here. There we are. Well, welcome back to Foos Entertainment for my review of 2006. No, actually, I take it back. 2007's The Bourne Ultimatum. Now, this is basically the last novel adaptation from the Robert Lefton books when it comes to the Bourne character. This one I saw not just once, but a few times at the movie theaters because I really did like this one a lot. That was quite brilliant. Very, very brilliant. Definitely raised the bar. It did everything I loved about the first film and everything I loved about the second film and expanded on it. The action is far more intense. The adventure is definitely there, the mystery. Now, the plot of the film. Because we're going to make this quick because I want to get through all this. Have plenty of more that I want to do today for Foos Entertainment, believe it or not. The plot of the film, this takes place 6 weeks after the events of the Bourne Supremacy. In fact, the actual first scene in the movie takes place a few minutes after the events of the Bourne Supremacy. Jason Bourne, again, goes into hiding. And of course, everything's all cleared up with what he was blamed for doing in the last movie. Although the head chiefs of that Central Intelligence Agency still consider him a viable threat. But it's all wrapped up. Bourne comes across a newspaper from a London reporter by the name of Simon Ross, who basically has uncovered the Blackbriar Project, which was, of course, explored in the second movie. It was introduced at the very end of the first film, but was explored in the second movie. But now it's come full circle on this one. And supposedly the Blackbriar program started with Jason Bourne. And so Jason Bourne finds that very interesting, so he meets up with Simon Ross and attempts to save him from being assassinated by a Netter operative, or asset is like they call them in these movies, and fails miserably, of course, at it. Not really miserably, but he fails to save the reporter in London. And basically, he's back in the action again, up to his knees in it, and he keeps having these weird visions. Yet again, fragment memory of when he was recruited and begun being trained in the procedure of the program at Treadstone. And all leads into the Blackbriar Project, really. And he discovers his roots a little bit. Discovers his real name. His real name is David Webb, which, of course, is actually told to him in New York during the third act of this movie, actually. And he makes it back to a training facility. And pretty much faces people that created him and takes the Blackbriar program down once and for all and exposes Treadstone to the world. Now, by all accounts, this should have been the last movie because the next two films, they were just really making stuff up and pulling it out of their ass to make those movies. They're not bad movies, but the story was done with the Bourne Ultimatum, I would say. And Robert Lefton himself, I rest his soul, he did not care to make more books after the Bourne Ultimatum. Granted, people inspired from his work and made their own spy thrillers, but the Bourne story was over with the Bourne Ultimatum novel. So there wasn't really any need to make more films after this. But that said, I happen to like the Bourne legacy, and I happen to like Jason Bourne, so I had no problem with it. All right, in terms of picture and audio. This film was shot in 2.35.1 widescreen, but is presented in 2.40.1 widescreen. It, of course, is in a 2K DI on this Blu-ray disc. And, of course, it was shot on film and finished in 2K HD. So, shot on film and finished in high definition. The reason why this movie has 2.40 and not 2.35 on the widescreen ratio is because once Blu-ray existed, it's become a standard to take a 2.35 and modify to a 2.40, much like it is with a 1.85 being modified to a 1.78. They modified a widescreen aspect ratio for some odd reason. They think that's a good thing to do. You all know that I'm annoyed with that, but they do it anyways. That's what I like about 4K releases, is that they restore the original aspect ratio of the film. And don't take any side cuts, obviously. The picture is even cleaner than the first two films, but it still does look very much like a digital Universal movie. Lots of deep blacks and warm temperatures and stuff like that. But like I said, I don't mind that. I think that when a film's preceded digitally and it has that digital look, you can tend to be able to see things. Not to mention, it's a brilliant and really vivid looking image versus a film image, which is the difference. Film reels are obviously brighter. They have a much broader range of color palettes, more neutral temperatures. And when it comes to digital, you either have very cool temperatures or you have very warm one. I would say in this one, it's probably closer to being more of a digital cool temperatured movie than it is a warm one, so I do take it back saying that it was warm. There are some parts of the film where I guess, yeah, it is pretty warm. But in terms of color temperatures, this is much more of a cool color temperature movie. It kind of reminds me a little bit more of an Underworld movie, while still looking much like a Universal Pictures movie, and sort of having that Jason Bourne look to the film, obviously. Very brilliant picture. No grain problems, nothing like that. Very, very clean. The audio. This one expands on the sound design of the first two films, and I think it takes it to new levels. There's so much going on overhead channels in this movie that it sneaks up on you like a character. Very, very solid 5.1 DTS HD MA. Audio track on this movie being converted into a neutral DTS X audio presentation on my system. It is very, very good. Very good indeed. So yeah, I could definitely say I am a big fan of this one. This is probably my favorite one out of all of them. I'm not ashamed to say that. It is a very good movie. I hope you guys have enjoyed the Bourne film so far. Expect to see more. And expect to see editor videos as well. Like I said, what's been keeping me from making videos has been since removed out of the equation. So I should be able to make videos hopefully regularly. And I do want to announce at least one thing. Our location is going to change over the next couple of months. I am moving into a new residence. And it will actually allow for an actual studio environment and allow us to have a much bigger expansion. I I'm even thinking about getting some canvases. Yeah, actually get some art canvases of my favorite movie characters, like James Bond and Freddy Krueger and stuff like that. And possibly some video backdrops. Not photo backdrops, video backdrops. Which means that, yeah, you might have some interesting things happening over the next few months for Foose Entertainment. But for sure, I'm definitely moving to a new location. I'm very happy about the transition. There's also kind of part of the reason why I've been kind of busy. I've been preparing for that. Well, stay safe. Don't let all the chaos in the world get you down. It's not getting me down. And I will see you guys next time for my review of the Bourne Legacy. Until then.